Check. So I'm just gonna do my review for today. Today I felt was there wasn't a lot of opportunity. It was very choppy after the market's kind of digesting the big move from yesterday. So the very first trade I took was on NVDA, and I took this as a second chance off of the opening range break. So you can see that very clearly there was an opening range set here. It was broken on volume, and so it comes back up, briefly retest the opening range level to the penny, and then fails. So I just get short as we break the lows, and it just rebids. And this was actually very interesting because you see this 114.25 level where there was a seller, a stacked seller at this level, and it just could not get above this level. So I'm actually going to throw this up here so you can actually see the offers that were stacked here. And I'd recommend you guys go and watch this tape because it was very interesting on how this was I guess, a really good example of a stacked seller and just a fight that's going on at this level. So I did get stopped out here, and as soon as that seller went away, you see it aggressively went to VWAP. This is what it looks like on the 2-minute. So again, volume on the opening range break, super clean, retest, breaks. So I felt like this setup was very clean. The only thing is maybe I should be looking for this on the day after a big, a big move. Today was pretty choppy. You can see like the cues. The SPY is just ugly. IWM also tried to do stuff and it was just chopping around all day. So very rangy day, not very tradable. Today just didn't have a lot of opportunity in it. The next trade I took was on SIRI, and so I took this as a rubber band, and so you can see very clearly here that there was a sort of a consolidation support that was going on at the 365 level, and then you can see that the 9 EMA was kind of being respected, and then it just flushes after it can't get above the 9 EMA, and then it reclaims a lot as a big move after it reclaims the 9 EMA. So this is just further evidence that the 9 EMA is going to continue to be respected. So once it gets back above, I want to see it start holding the 9 EMA and then push towards VWAP. So we didn't get a big volume on this pop. That's the only thing I would prefer, a big volume, something like this come in on this pop, but it is a pretty big move. I'm showing that there is a reaction here, so I just get long here. And it did start to pick up some volume. And right here is the key moment. I thought this was easily going to just hit VWAP in one more bar, and it started getting very volatile here. Huge volume came in, but it wasn't able to hold the trend, and then it just breaks prior bar lows. So I just get out here for a small loss. And you can also see on the 2-minute, this was a multi-bar break here. So these are 2-minute candles. So if you throw this on the 1-minute, you can see that it broke actually 5 bars here. So this is a very clean rubber band entry. RSI, average RSI was less than 20. So very oversold. So really like this entry. And yeah, this was a good trade. So that was I only took 2 trades today, so very selective, give myself an A on selectivity today. The only other thing that I would mention is I feel like MMM was probably the best setup of the day. I didn't end up taking this one because I was distracted with something unrelated to trading, but it pulls into, it had big day today, I had earnings, and it had a big move today, and I was watching this for a retest of VWAP. You can see it actually doesn't touch VWAP, and instead it just kind of comes into this area. So it doesn't actually touch VWAP, rather it kind of breaks through this. So this was the high of the day, starts to consolidate here, adding support, and then it just briefly breaks through that level of support, consolidates briefly above VWAP, and then pushes off. So I would actually prefer for this to, like, if this wick were on VWAP, this would give me much more confidence in this trade. But the fact that it doesn't, and I'm working on making a VWAP continuation strategy video, so I'll discuss this in much more detail. But I really wanted to touch VWAP, that way I can risk against VWAP and put my stop below it. So you're not able to really do that from these prior lows. But this is a pretty clean entry, so I wouldn't risk 20%, which is my risk for VWAP, rather 10%, but it does make a pretty nice trend break here. Volume pops up as it reclaims the prior support area. So this reclaim is a very important. So I think this was a pretty clean entry here. You can see that it does reach high of day, starting to struggle and sell a little bit here, but this was probably the best trade of the day. DXCM, I want to see it pop up into 71 or 75 for a gap give and go back through open. I'm also watching M, which is making quite a substantial move in the pre-market before the open. We also have IWM, which has a nice, I don't even have it here, IWM. Oh, second day, yeah. So it has a nice like 3-day consolidation. So looking for a break there for maybe a VWAP continuation. And then F looking for a VWAP continuation on day 2. And the Qs again. And NVDA, now we get some volume here. Okay, so we get like this nice break on volume. Now looking for lower volume, pull back into, it did actually touch here. Could take this as well. Don't love it as much, but this is technically the low of the day. It goes and touches it. Would much prefer to come into 1145. AWM is doing what I wanted it to do. So there's a lot of selling on the tape, a lot of bids getting hit. So I just take this, mainly because of this volume confirmation that comes in after you get the opening range break. This is becoming one of my strategies that I've been working on for a while. I don't know why my pulse is so high. Almost 90. It's not a lot of risk for me. I need to go look at IWM, which just did a wick. Let's see if the seller is still here. Came within 2 cents of getting stopped out. Still bids are getting hit. Is a seller at 25? Yeah, there was a huge seller at 25. So we're going to need to go look at that in the tape again in the review. But yeah, the seller is still here. Meanwhile, IWM. Watching 25, see if the seller's still there. One. There, the seller's gone. But it can't get above 25. It's very interesting. This is very interesting tape. So it is holding the 9 EMA on the 1 minute right now. And we're also coming into the 2 minute. So I think the probabilities went on my side right now. This is crazy. It says it's got above 28 here, but it must have not have printed because it didn't actually trigger my stop here. But you also have buyers in this area here as well. So this is a good fight between buyers and sellers. Biz just got hit right there and just rebids. IWM. Justin just went long here, but I don't necessarily love it because the volume didn't really come here. Now the volume is coming. I don't love it. Betty is still chopping around. back at 25, and there I got stopped out. I'm just gonna go long here. So the rubber band that set up broke through the 9 EMA after a period of consolidation. Big move up. So this is about a 1-to-1 risk to reward. You definitely have a resistance area here. But you get a quadruple bar break. I think the 9 EMA respected, and then boom, right through it. So what we haven't seen is that big spike in volume, which I would like to see. And I feel like if this starts going green right now, this is definitely like I want to see like volume come up. So what we're looking for right now is a lower high. Sorry, a higher low. I always get these mixed up. So looking for a higher low. So maybe a pullback or something that we can risk against. I feel like we didn't really get it here, but let's see. I would really like to see some volume start coming in. Similarly to how we had these big volume spikes. And as shorts are chasing this down, you do see, I mean, this feels pretty evident to me that there's a base that's being developed like right here. See how many touches we get? And then smaller and smaller, and then boom, that's a typical rubber band move. And look at all these buying on the ass. Tape is really slow. We did get like a nice higher low. So for a trend like that, so that looks really nice. So like 66. Putting my stop at 366. And see, got sold here. Let's see what it does on this trend now. There's buying, and so you can really see on the 2-minute, there's a big reaction going on. Not very evident on the 1-minute, but on the 2-minute, so 1 cent. There we go. I got stopped out. So that was kind of a crazy move.